Hi everyone, Kavita here with this week's video blog. And this week is a great week because it's Thanksgiving week. So some of you may still be at work or some of you may already be at home enjoying Thanksgiving already with family and friends. And I know that everybody's getting prepared for the feast that's going to happen tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll linger into Friday and the weekend. And I get a lot of questions from all of you around like, how am I going to get through this Thanksgiving meal without gaining like 10 pounds or 5 pounds, whatever it is that it is in your head around how much you think you'll gain. So this week I wanted to give you 5 tips to get through the Thanksgiving holidays and keep the weight off. So the first tip that I have for you is that we usually save up our calories to have these big meals. So we'll be like, oh, I'm not going to have breakfast and I'm not going to have lunch and I'm going to save up for the big meal for dinner. Or if it's a lunchtime meal that you're saving up for, then you're going to say, I'm saving up for that. So you'll skip breakfast, you'll skip lunch, and then you'll have this huge dinner. Well, that is a guaranteed way to overeat and feel that post-feast feeling of like, I feel gross, I ate too much, I'm too full, I can't even stand, I need to go to sleep, I'm already tired. And then all of a sudden you've had this beautiful, amazingly prepared meal for you that you've scarfed down in excess. And afterwards you can't even socialize because you're like, I'm just too tired. And you're not the only one. It's usually everybody that feels like that. So my first tip is do not save up the calories. Have a good breakfast. Have a good lunch. And I promise you, when you have your Thanksgiving meal, you will savor it even more. You won't be scarfing food down by the handfuls as if it's never going to be there again and that this is the first time you've eaten all year. So don't save up calories. That is the number one thing that most people do wrong during the Thanksgiving season. And that really causes you to overeat. And then when you overeat, you feel gross. And then that lingers into the next day where you feel bloated and you feel like you gained like 5 pounds in one night. So don't do that. Don't save up the calories. The second tip is that have a little bit of everything. Don't go to Thanksgiving dinner and say, okay, I can only have these things because this is my caloric intake for the day. And I'm going to skip dessert and I'm going to just try not to eat that much and portion control, take little bites. Taking little bites is fine, but taking little pieces of things is a good idea. But just make sure that you get a little bit of everything. Don't prevent yourself from not eating any one thing. Because what will psychologically happen for you is if you say, nope, I'm not going to have that dessert. I'm going to have a lot of this other stuff, but I'm going to skip the dessert. When that dessert comes out, guess what's going to happen? Your brain is going to take over and it's going to say, oh my God, I got to have some of that dessert. Because subconsciously in our minds, we don't understand negatives. So when we say I'm not going to have that dessert, guess what the brain translates that as? I'm going to have dessert. So then you definitely go for the dessert, and then you'll have a couple of bites, and then you're like, oh, I'll have a couple more bites. And next thing you know, you're eating the whole piece and having another second helping of it. My third tip is really having a little bit of everything, but making sure when you're taking a little bit of everything that the meat is not the central part of your meal. Really what you want to have the most of is fruits, veggies, all of the sides. Have so much of the sides that you're having just a little bit of the meat portion or the turkey. It's going to do two things. First of all, having the fruits and veggies in general are going to be so much better for you and all of the sides. They're going to fill you up. They're going to give you the vitamins and minerals that you need. They're going to give you the fiber that you want. And then the meat should always be the smallest portion of the meal. Anytime you're having a meal, it should always be the smallest portion. I think Americans have gotten too crazy about having that be the central part, and that's what's making us lethargic. It's getting us to be really tired. Have it, but have a little bit of it. I personally am vegetarian, so that's not even a part of my meal, but I really, really condone you not having that be the central part of your meal. Okay? That's tip 3. Tip 4 is find sweetness in doing nothing. I was watching Eat, Pray, Love, the movie. I read the book a while ago, but I watched the movie yesterday, and this is such a beautiful thing that I think everybody in every other part of the country is doing. But Americans are so caught up in trying to do something all the time, staying busy, keeping occupied. And this Thanksgiving, really, take in the present moment. Take in your family, take in your friends, take in your children, your significant other, and just find some quietness in all of that. I know that sometimes being around family and friends isn't that quiet, but find sweetness in doing nothing. Really don't turn this Thanksgiving holiday for you into another work event or trying to stay busy. Really just find sweetness in doing nothing. Enjoy your meals. Enjoy sitting. Enjoy talking. Enjoy every single moment and stay in the present. So that's tip number 4. My 5th tip is being grateful for the food. I think we've gotten so used to just food being everywhere around us in America, and we're so lucky to have that. But in so many parts of the world, really, there isn't an abundance of food that we have here. And it's taken a lot for this meal to be in front of you. We don't necessarily go into our backyard, into the rice paddies and pick the rice and go to our organic farm and get all of the veggies and fruits. And we don't, get all this stuff from our backyards. It's coming from a lot of preparation, a lot of traveling, a lot of thought and labor and time has been put into the food that's being prepared. And then whoever's cooked it up and put love into it for you. So really be grateful for, if nothing else, really the food that's in front of you. I'm sure there's so much more to be grateful for, but really take a moment if you're not really having that as an activity as part of your meal of going around and saying thanks or being grateful for the things. Say it mentally or write it down. Write down your top 10 things this year that you've been grateful for and what you're grateful for on this day, which is Thanksgiving tomorrow. Okay? So I leave you with that. Those are my 5 tips. Quick recap is, first, don't save up the calories. Really eat breakfast, eat lunch, and then have your meal. Don't save up for that meal because you will overeat. Number 2, have a little bit of everything. Hit up all of those different taste buds, which is sour, salty, sweet, bitter, spicy. Hit them all up and have a little bit of everything. Do not tell yourself no, but have a little bit of everything. Third, make sure the meat is a side and have all your veggies and all of the other sides be the main portion of your meal. 4, find sweetness in doing nothing. Be very present this holiday. So that's number 4. And number 5 is find appreciation and gratefulness in your food and in many other ways that you've been blessed this year. So have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to all of you next week. Bye.